It's been a good couple days for Yu-Gi-Oh! If you didn't hear, we got a new set announced with all the Ghost Girl hand traps reprinted, Infinite Impermanence reprinted, Evenly Matched reprinted, Borreload reprint, Card of Demise, and we got a bunch of Link Frames pack. 1 and 2 monsters released, just brand new Security Dragon, just a bunch of new cards released, announced for that new set, as well as like literally 2 days after, technically 2 days after, yesterday morning at like 4 a.m. we got a bunch of cards leaked for the new set Dark Neostorm. 20, almost 25 cards announced in a span of like 2 hours. And it's pretty crazy. We got support for a lot of different archetypes here, but the most notable one is by far Destiny Heroes. That's what I'm going to be talking about here in this video. Welcome back to Just Nuts, by the way. My name's John. And yeah, so pretty much what we're doing here is Destiny Heroes are completely revamped. Literally. Like I think you play all 5 of the new cards. Maybe, well, all right, with the exception of one, but I think you play, for the most part, 4, bare minimum 3. It depends on the build. You could be playing like a weird turbo build, and maybe you don't play the trap. And I know some people may not prefer the monster, the main deck monster, but 3 of them you like gotta play. They're like too good not to. So pretty much you have this insane fusion card that pretty much says you can fuse straight from the deck. You just send the material straight from deck to grave, but you destroy the monster you summon during the next turn's end phase, which is fine because the monster you're normally going to be summoning says that when he's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon up to 3 Destiny Heroes from your grave. So you're sending 3 to make them. They're all going to be there, and then if he lasts until the end of the next turn, or if he's popped before then, I mean, as long as it's destruction, you're going to get all 3 of them back. So you always keep that advantage, almost always. I mean, obviously barring non-destruction removal, which is pretty dang good. That does have a little restriction saying you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn after you do this, except for Dark Heroes. That just means you probably got to tailor your deck and also the way you play the deck so that you try and do some things before you use this, so that you used all the heroes or just cards in general that weren't Dark Heroes before this, and then you activate this to kind of like finish her up. Pretty dang powerful though, just a 1-card fusion. Gotta love that, especially when Destiny Heroes have multiple monsters that give you value from the grave. You've got Malicious. I know Malicious just got hit to 2, but it still has value because you still get that free special summon from the second Malicious. We have Disc Commander. I know he has the errata, but this is in the Heroes, so he's much easier to kind of like tutor out. It's a hard once per tool or hard once per duel effect, but we have like monsters in this deck that just special summon from grave, or cards that are just going to special summon from grave, and all you need is like a hero on board, because you can use Mass Change to just get Dark Law out or anything. So just like the new Link monster just specials from graves. You special them, you draw 2, and then you just link them away. So if you were just going to end up, fusing away with Mass Change or linking it away or whatever anyway, and the monster didn't matter, you might as well draw 2 out of it. So Disc Commander is a 1 of, and then the new monster here, this guy, Draw Guy. He's cool. I like his design a lot. He just used the finger gun. That's awesome. And he has a cool hat. He pretty much just says the standby phase after the turn he's sent to the graveyard, he special summons himself back, but he banishes himself if he leaves the field from there. So just a nice little free monster. So you could play that as a 1 of, and when you use that, resolve that fusion card, you send him, and next turn you just get a free body on board. I wish he came back every turn. That'd actually make him probably a little crazy, but he is a free body on board, something to consider. So I don't think you'd play him in more than 1, maybe. It also says if he is special summoned by a hero monster's effect, you can have each player draw 1 card. Up to you if you want to give your opponent for extra, cards, but if you need it, you might as well roll the dice and see if you can draw something. So he's interesting. This is the one that like maybe you wouldn't play. Up to you. And then for the cards you like probably absolutely should play is right here. We have Dominate Guy, 2900. So he's pretty big. This is the guy you fuse with the new fusion card. It says during your main phase you can look at the top 5 cards of either player's deck in any, and then put them back down in any order. So you can look at your own, and stack your deck for next turn, or if you're going to draw cards or whatever. That could be nice actually with this commander. You know what? Stack your deck, activate this commander in that same combo sequence on that turn, draw the 2 cards you wanted to combo even further. That could be pretty dirty. Or you can look at your opponent's deck. If it's game 1 in a set, you can get some knowledge on what your opponent's playing and then kind of set up your board accordingly to, take on what you think like they're going to need to like take you down. So yeah, I think it has a lot of value. And yeah, even looking at the top of their deck, and then you also get to rearrange. It's not even just the information, but you basically see 2, called by the graves in those first 5 cards, and you put both of those on the top, just because those aren't that crazy effective against your deck. I don't know. There's a lot of usefulness for that effect. If he destroys a monster by battle, draw a card. Even more value for stacking your own deck. If this fusion summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect, target 3 level 9 or lower D heroes in the grave with different names and special summon them. So you pretty much are just going to revive all 3 of the materials you used to summon them in the first place. So really nice replacement effect. Remember that the fusion card destroys him on the next end phase. Very important. So if he does just live, you're going to get all that advantage. Then for the Link Monster. Link Monster is very good as well. 2 good arrows, down left, bottom right. Or bottom left, bottom right. 1600 attack, takes any 2 warriors, which is actually kind of nice that he's a little bit generic, because there are some solid warrior, extenders that you may not want to be forced into only using heroes to make him. You can add special summon monsters and in turn you activated any of this card's effects except for heroes, so that's kind of tough during the turn, so not even from this point on, like after you use the effects. So that's actually kind of rough. But hey, you still use like junk forward and stuff. That's not activating effect, it's just a summoning condition. So if he's like summon target a D hero in your grave and special summon it, awesome. And then you contribute a Destiny Hero monster to add a hero monster with a different name from that monster to the hand. So yeah, you just tutor out whichever Destiny Hero you're looking for that time. He's just a really good card. I think just this special summon effect is good enough. I mean, if you can just use this commander to make him special this commander back, draw 2. It's a lot. It's a lot of advantage you're getting there. It's good. These cards make the deck so much better. Detect is another really good card. During the standby phase, all hero monsters you control gain 400. That's every standby phase, all hero monsters permanently. That makes your Link monster 2,000 on your opponent's next standby phase. It makes this guy 33. That makes like everything so much bigger. This new monster, it makes him 2,000. Like everything becomes a beat stick almost as your opponent's turn starts. So. And then they just keep raising from there and there and there, and OTKs become more and more possible as the duel goes on. The bread and butter of this card, though, is this. If a level 8 or higher Destiny Hero monster is special summoned to your fields, banish 1 card from your opponent's hand, field, or graveyard. So if you're able to do something on your opponent's turn, or on your turn going first, you can just banish a card from your opponent's hand. Let's just rip a card. They're playing with 5 from now on. It's pretty valuable, and that's every turn. And then the third effect says if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can add a Destiny Hero monster from deck to hand, so it does replace itself if your opponent is forced to add it because they're worried that you're just going to keep removing cards every turn, and they try and add it, you're going to get a little bit of advantage back for that. It's really good, dude. All these cards, like I think for a long time, I and other people were kind of like, man, why they do Destiny Heroes like that? Like, could have been such a cool idea. The fact that they're dark but still heroes, that's like so cool. It's like the Batman aesthetic, right? That he's like in the shadows. He's kind of shady, but he still does good. That's what these guys are. Like, they're the really cool aesthetic, but they completely got dumped on by Elemental Heroes. Elemental Heroes have been way better than Destiny Heroes for so long, and I think it's cool to see Destiny Heroes catch up a little bit, and we'll see. I mean, with this kind of support, we might see Destiny Heroes straight up be better than Elemental Heroes. I know it's a big stretch so far. I'm sure we'll see some Elemental Heroes incorporated into this. I mean, Stratos still searches any hero, I believe, not just Elemental Heroes. Does Honest Neos only buff Elemental Heroes, or does it buff any hero? Because then that's usable in this deck. You have ways to search generic heroes. Just some thoughts. Just consider it. All right, just think about it. Think about it. Mass change in the deck, making Dark Law. You have all your monsters are dark, so it's not even about like getting the right ones out. Shadow Mist has value. He's a dark. Vision Hero Vion has value in here. Like, there's so many cards that like have good value in this deck that are not even Destiny Heroes. So you do have some ways to work other generic kind of cards into this deck. And yeah, I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see the heroes balancing out. It's not just all elemental heroes. We're seeing some Destiny heroes. We're seeing Aster Phoenix kind of get his thing going, right? Aster played the Destiny heroes. Yeah, he did. I'm almost positive, pretty positive. I haven't seen GX in so long. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. If you were a Destiny hero player, and that's another thing. I've never played Destiny heroes before this. So if you were a Destiny hero player before, seeing this new support, and you were kind of like, man, they kind of suck. They suck at a boss. Let me know. Let me know how much better this stuff is going to make the deck, where at least in your opinion. I mean, there's no way to know before, actually testing the stuff out. But yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it off there. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.